Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Canto 8, Withdrawal of the Cosmic Creations, Chapter 8, The Churning of the Milk Ocean. So we continue from verse 22. Vachichirayu nahi shila mangalam,
Vachichirayo nahi shila mangalam.
vachitadapi astina vedyamayusha.
Kvachitadapi asti navedyamayusha.
Yatro vayam kutra chasopi amangala,
Yatro bhayam kutra chashopi amangala.
sumangala kaschana kankshate himam.
Sumangala kaschana kankshate hima.
Someone may have longevity, this is Lakshmi thinking, but not have auspiciousness or good behavior. Someone may have both auspiciousness and good behavior, but the duration of his life is not fixed. Although such demigods as Lord Shiva have eternal life, they have inauspicious habits like living in crematoriums. And even if others are well qualified in all respects, they are not devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text 23. Evam vimrishya vyavichari satgunair
Evam vimrishya vichari satgunair
varam nijaikashrayata yagunashrayam.
Varam nijaikashrayata yagunashrayam.
Avrevaram sarva gunairapikshitam
Varam sarva gunairapekshitam.
Rama mukundam nirapeksham nipshitam.
Rama mukundam nirapeksham nipshitam.
Sukadeva Goswami continued in this way. After full deliberation, the goddess of fortune accepted Mukunda as her husband, because although he is independent and not in want of her, he possesses all transcendental qualities and mystic powers and is therefore the most desirable. Okay. He is Swarat, self-sufficient, independent, Atmarama, still she is attracted to him. Next 24. Tasyam sadesha ushatim navakanjamalam
Tasyam sadesha ushatim navakanjamalam.
Let's see. Tasyam sadesha ushatim navakanjamalam
Tasyam sadesha ushatim navakanjamalam.
Madhyam madhuvrata giropagustam
Madhyam madhuvrata
Tastau nidaya nikate tatura swadama Savridahasa vikasannayane Savridahasa vikasannayane nayata. Approaching the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Goddess of Fortune placed upon his shoulders the garland of newly grown lotus flowers, which was surrounded by humming bumblebees searching for honey. Then, expecting to get a place on the bosom of the Lord, she remained standing by his side, her face smiling in shyness. Text 25. Tasya Shriyastri Jagato Janako Jananya
Tasya Shriyastri Jagato Janako Jananya
Vaksho Nivasa Makaro Paramam Vibhute
Vaksho Nivasa Makaro Paramam Vibhute
Sri Swapraja Sakarunena Nirikshanena
Sri Swapraja Nirikshanena
Yatra Stitai Dayata Sadipatim Srilokam.
Yatra Jayata
The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Father of the three worlds, and his bosom is the residence of Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, the proprietor of all opulences. The goddess of fortune, by her favorable and merciful glance, can increase the opulence of the three worlds along with their inhabitants and their directors, the demigods. Okay. Um, so Prabhupada says that the Lord allowed Lakshmi Devi to take residence in his chest or bosom so that she can bless them. Okay. Why is that? Because if she is in the bosom, she can see all the devotees approaching Narayana. So therefore, she will be pleased to bless devotees because they are taking shelter of her husband Narayana. But of course, the people who don't want Narayana, they just want Lakshmi. So therefore, she may offer them some opulence, but then the opulence is only temporary. Whereas the opulence given to the devotees are eternal. Text 26. Shankaturya mridanganam
Shankaturyana
vaditranam pritusvanaha
Vaditranam
devanuganam sastrinam
Devanam Srinam
nirtyatam gayatam abhu.
Nityatam Gayatam
Inhabitants of Gandharva Loka and Charana Loka then took the opportunity to play their musical instruments such as conchas, bugles, and drums. They began dancing and singing along with their wives. Text 27. Brahma Rudrangiro Mukya Sarve Vishwa Srijo Vibhum
Sarve Vishwarjo Vimum
Idire Vitatair Mantrai Talingai Pushpa Varshinaha.
Talingai Pushpavashina
Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, the great sage Angira, and similar directors of universal management showered flowers and chanted mantras indicating the transcendental glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sri Avalokita Deva
Sriyavalokita Deva
Saprajapataya Praja
Sapraya Bhajaya Praja
Shiladi Guna Sampanna
Sriladi Guna Sampanda
Nebere Nivritim Param.
Levire Nivritim Param
All the demigods along with the Prajapatis and their descendants, being blessed by Lakshmi Ji's glance upon them, were immediately enriched with good behavior and transcendental qualities. Thus they were very much satisfied. Seems like only the demigods got the blessing. Next 29. Nishatva loluparajan
Nisatva Loluparajan
Nirudyoga gatatrapaha
Nirudyoga Gatatrapaha
Yada chopekshita lakshmiya
Yada Chodrishita Lakshya
Babubu daityadanavaha.
Babu Daityadhanavaha
O king, because of being neglected by the goddess of fortune, the demons and rakshasas were depressed, bewildered, and frustrated, and thus they became shameless. So they became angry actually. So they must have done some bad activities. Text 30. Athasid Varuni Devi
Atasid Varuni Devi
Kanya Kamala Lochana
Kanya Kamalalochana
Asura Jagrihustam Vai
Asuraja Grihustam Vai
Harer Anumatena Te.
Hare Ranumatena Te
Next appeared Varuni, lotus-eyed goddess who controls drunkards. With the permission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, the demons headed by Bali Maharaj took possession of this young girl. So they all want to be drunkards. Text 31. Ato dader madhyamana
Ato dader madhyamana
Kashyapar amritatibihi
Kashyapar amritatibihi
Udatistan Maharaja
Udatistan Maharaja
Purusha Paramadbhutaha.
Purusha Paramadbhutaha.
O king, thereafter while the sons of Kashyapa, both demons and demigods, were engaged in churning the ocean of milk, a very wonderful male person appeared. Durga Pivara Dordanda
Dirga Pivara Dordanda
Kambu Grivoru Nechanaha
Kambu Grigoru Nekshanaha
Shyamalas Taruna Shragvi
Shyamala Saruna Shragvi
Sarvabharana Bhushitaha.
Sarvabharana Bhushitaha.
He was strongly built, his arms were long, stout, and strong. His neck, which was marked with 3 lines, resembled a conch shell. His eyes were reddish, and his complexion was blackish. He was very young, he was garlanded with flowers, and his entire body was fully decorated with various ornaments. Text 33. Pitavasa Mahorakshaha
Pitavasa Mahurakshaha
Sumrishta Manikundalaha
Sumrishta Manikundalaha
Snikta Kunchita Keshanta
Snigdha Kunchita Keshanta
Subhaga Singha Vakramaha
Shubhagaha Singha Vakramaha
Amrita Purna Kalasam
Amrita Purna Kalasham
Vipra Valaya Bhushitaha.
Vibhradvalaya Bhushitaha.
He was dressed in yellow garments and wore brightly polished earrings made of pearls. The tips of his hair were anointed with oil, and his chest was very broad. His body had all good features. He was stout and strong like a lion, and he was decorated with bangles. In his hand, he carried a jug filled to the top with nectar. Thanks. Dhanvantari. Text 34. Savai Bhagavata Shaksha
Savai Bhagavata Saksha
Vishnu Rang Samsa Sambhavaha
Vishnoram Samsa Sambhavaha
Dhanvantare Riti Kyata
Dhanvantare Riti Khyata
Ayurveda Drikijyabha.
Ayurveda Brigijyabha.
This person was Dhanvantari, a plenary portion of Lord Vishnu. He was very conversant with the science of medicine, and as one of the demigods, he was permitted to take a share in sacrifices. So he's actually an expansion of the Lord, plenary expansion, but he also occupies a position as a demigod also. So in the purport, Madhvacharya writes, Dhanvantari, who was carrying the jug containing nectar, was a plenary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But although he was very strong, the Asuras were able to take the jug of nectar from his hands. So as soon as they saw the thing, they took it away.
One question.
Yes.
I don't know, but why does it look like that Bali Maharaj, the behavior is not like a behavior of a Mahajan, you know?
Where was that?
Now he took that
Girl?
one girl who's taking care of the drunkards and
But he asked permission, no?
well, I don't know, but is it a speculation to say that after getting darshan of Vamana Dev, then he became a Mahajan? Can we say that or no?
They're always Mahajan. No? He knows the truth. Yeah.
That's why he recognized
Yeah.
that he is Lord.
Um,
But we don't know his intent. No?
yeah,
We're assuming.
the demons all wanted her. So on their behalf, he asked permission. Yeah. To,
So now
to
may
keep
not
them
be-
happy, he knowing their nature, right?
And right now also he's in a patal, so it will be very difficult for him to deal with all the demons like
No,
that.
he has the ability. He's very powerful, actually. Yeah. So he has the blessings of the Lord. He's just waiting for the next cycle. Then he takes over Indra's position.
Bali.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's already there. He's exalted. And then when he becomes Indra, he is actually a Mahajan, not an ordinary Indra. So it may be a different
pastimes.
Different
May not
pastime.
have Govardhan Leela.
Maybe someone else will cause the problem.
Yeah.
Text 35. One devotee wrote and asked about Narada Muni, that he was, Gandharva and doing. And Prabhupada said you should never think like that. You should always think that he is eternally liberated. Yeah. Yeah. So the same way, you should try to see him as a liberated Mahajan. He is liberated. He's a Mahajan. So what he did was, because of
Satisfied.
his service as a king, he's trying to please his citizens who are, you cannot force your citizen to become, for example, in America, you cannot force everyone to become vegetarian overnight. It won't happen. Right? There will be riots, there will be all kinds of crazy things. You cannot, like, for example, in the 1930s, they had the liquor ban,
Yeah.
right? If you all remember history, the government banned the liquor, and then they would go to the mountains and create artificial liquor and so on. Yeah, prohibition. Yeah. So finally, they realized they cannot stop them, and then they relaxed the law, and then the government controlled the liquor now, so they can make.
It's the same thing in India also. They tried
Mm.
in 1990.
Yeah.
In Andhra Pradesh, they tried liquor ban. They started smuggling and again
Making-
they stopped.
Making chemical liquor and going blind, all those things. So therefore they stop.
Exporting from another state, something like
Right.
that.
That's it. So you cannot do that. And so in that case, from point of Bali Maharaj, you have to understand, he has to make sure his demonic citizens are also
Satisfied.
satisfied to some extent. So in that regard, when they wanted the girl,
The permission.
he asked permission from the Lord and then gave them that, and she represents, drinking, like that. Yeah. With good association, one can give up bad habits. Yeah. So with his rule and control, many of the demons would become better situated. But it's like that. Same with Lanka also, Vibhishana. He was a pure devotee also. So Ram gave him permission, but then he hit the whole Lanka. So we can't go there. And he told him, you take care of the Rakshasas. If they come out trying to find problem, they will be killed. So that's how. So a few of them stayed back, and that's when you find in the Mahabharata, they're causing problems. And so the Pandavas and other heroes will kill them, easily. So under the guidance of the authorities, they will be protected. So same with Bali Maharaj, those demons who are under his jurisdiction, if they follow him, they will get successful also. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So anyway, here they couldn't stand because they already planned to steal the nectar. So as soon as Dhanvantari come, they all rushed. And then they pulled it away from him. So even though he was very strong, he couldn't hold on to it. So they snatched away by force. Right?
Surprise.
Okay, so text 36. Niyamaneswaraistasmin
Niyamaneswaraistasmin
kalase mritabhajane
Kalase mritabhajane
Vishanna manaso deva
Vishanna manaso deva
Harim sharanam ayayu.
Harisharanam Ayayu.
When the jug of nectar was carried out by the demons, the demigods were morose. Thus they sought shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari. Instead of chasing them, they already know they are not strong, so they didn't. They just took shelter of Vishnu, Krishna. Text 37. Iti tat dainyam alokya
Nitadayam alokya
Bhagavan Britya Kamakri
Bhagavan Nitya Kamakre
Ma Kidyata Mito mitortam vaha
Mahityamitordam vam
sadayishye swamayaya.
Sadayishyase mayaya.
When the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always desires to fulfill the ambitions of his devotees, saw that the demigods were morose, he said to them, "Do not be aggrieved. By my own energy I shall bewilder the demons by creating a quarrel among them. In this way I shall fulfill your desire to have the nectar." Of course, a lot of people don't understand why the Lord took sides, So they will say he is not fair, that he's anti the demons for no good reason, like that. So you'll see a lot of people will take side, just like Ram and Ravana. So many people say Ram was unfair, the way he did the whole thing, and poor Ravana, he was such a good person, and finally he got killed for no. Yeah, there are a lot of people who talk like that. In Lanka, I think they have. I don't know if they do it now, no, but I remember 20, 30 years ago, some devotees were saying in Lanka they celebrate Ravana's appearance. So they burn Ram's effigy. Like that. So there, I don't know if they still do, but huh? Yeah, yeah. So there are people like that, crazy people like that also. Yeah. Text 38. Mitha kalir abhutesham
Mitakalir
tad arte tarsha chetasam
Tadarte Tarshachetasam
aham purvam
Aham Purvam
natum iti prabhu.
Natvam Iti Prabhu.
O king, a quarrel then arose among the demons over who would get the nectar first. Each of them said, "You cannot drink it first. I must drink it first. Me first, not you." So Prabhupada says this is the symptom of demons. How to enjoy first. My sense gratification is more important than another person.
Self-interest.
Selfish. But devotee is different. No? Devotee, when we make anything, we purchase something, we should think this, I want to offer to Krishna first. Even though I may need it, but I want Krishna to at least bless it. Like that. We have to think like that, and we have to cultivate that consciousness. So Prabhupada says that is the difference between the devotee and non-devotee.
They're not waiting for Bali Maharaj's instruction.
Yeah,
This
you
is-
can see they didn't even ask their leader or anything. They're just fighting among themselves. Mostly in society, as Prabhupada says, 95% of them are non-devotees, non-believers of God, atheistic, right? Naradamas. So therefore, you're going to have a lot of these fights, disagreements, so many problems. Just like only recently, right? In Iran or what, the local people went against the American embassy, throw fire bombs, all kinds of things, just because they attacked Iraq. So these Iran guys are fighting with them. So that makes sense. But you can see there's always something in disagreement. So Prabhupada's point is when you are not trained to control your senses, you will then not understand why you have to serve Krishna and use your senses in his service. Because we have been trained, we can appreciate that. We may have difficulties, but we can at least appreciate those things. And therefore there's less disagreement among ourselves. So he says, unless such demons become Krishna conscious and are trained to satisfy the senses of the Lord, there can be no question of peace in human society or any society, even that of the demigods. So one of the good qualities about the demigods, even in the higher planetary system, is that they always surrender to Krishna's opinion. They may get angry, they may do something foolish, but they are very quick. They realize their mistake. Just like Indra also, he was so proud. He started to put all the rain and everything in Vrindavan. But when he realized his mistake, he came with his tail between his legs and asked for forgiveness. He personally didn't come, but he brought Surabhi because Krishna liked Surabhi. So he was hoping by seeing Surabhi, he will be more peaceful.
Bribe.
So something like that to make the situation easier. Sometimes when you make a mistake, your guru is angry, so you bring another devotee to talk, to apologize. It's like that, right? So then the Lord is pleased, the Guru will be pleased also. Okay, at least they ask for apology. And he'll chastise you a little bit and say, okay, come, sit down here. So in the same way, the Lord is also pleased with devotees and demigods, even though they may make mistakes. So Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Uchyate. So we use our senses in the service of so that is our goal. That is should be our nature. We should make it such that that's how we are. It should be instinctive. Whatever we get, first thing should be offered to Krishna. An incident in the life of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur brought some mangoes and he left it on the counter. The little boy, he was only like 5 years old, took the mango and bit on it, and when Bhaktivinoda Thakur saw that, he chastised. So you have to offer to Krishna. How can you not? And so what did Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati felt after that? That he is a Mahapapi. So every time someone offers mango, he says, I'm a Mahapapi. So he never touched green mango. Right? I guess he took other mangoes. I'm not sure, I'm just saying. But as far as I know, he never took mangoes. Yeah. So Prabhupada then says, the members of Krishna consciousness movement must be alert in regard to this point. And what is that point?
Satisfy the senses of the Lord.
Yes, to make sure that you satisfy Krishna first. Then it will become more meaningful. Okay? And the movement becomes successful because we are always satisfying Krishna and not ourselves. Text 13, yes.
So in current situation, the atheists are demons, are demoniac. But others, karmis and materialists, they are still okay because they're demigod worshippers. Is that correct? If atheists we can consider as demons because they're against the
Well,
Lord?
in general, in society, because it's so mixed up, so even though they may say atheistic, but they may be innocent in the sense that they don't even know why they're atheist.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can always test first and see how bad this person is or how innocent the person is. Accordingly, you can help them give a book or whatever, and they may read it and then they may become
Modas
because you should understand. Like take for example, Vishaka Mataji, Prabhupada. She was an atheist, but
Yes.
simply she was with Prabhupada. Then she realized her feelings are all misplaced like that, and she became a devotee. So in the same sense, yeah.
Out of the four types of people who don't come to Krishna, Modas may be foolish people.
Foolish people, hardworking, yeah. Even atheists can become, yeah. But it depends on whether they are innocent or whether they are, drastically against.
Like Asirim Bhava Master, they won't.
They won't.
Yeah, they are like
Antagonistic, not like
right-wing atheists.
if you know they are very antagonistic with anything spiritual, then you don't deal with them. Okay. Text 39 and 40. Deva Swambhagam Arhanti Ye Tulyaya Sahetavaha Satrayaga Ivaitasmin Esha Dharma Sanatanaha Iti Swan Pratyashedan Vai Daiteya Jata Matsaraha Durbala Prabalan Rajan Vihita Kalasan Muhu. Some of the demons said all the demigods have taken part in the churning the ocean of milk. Now, as everyone has an equal right to partake in any public sacrifice, According to the eternal religious system, it is befitting that the demigods now have a share of the nectar. O king, in this way the weaker demons forbade the stronger demons to take the nectar.
Anyway, they're not getting it.
They can't get it, so they want to. It's normal, no? You can see also. So, next 41 to 46. एतस्मिन् अन्तरे विष्णु
एतस्मिन् अन्तरे विष्णु
सर्वोपायविद् ईश्वर
सर्वोपायविद्
योषिरूपमनिर्देश्यम्
योषिरूपम् अनिर्देश्यम्
दादार परमाद्भुतम्
धारा परमाद्भुतम्
वृक्षणीयोत्पलश्यामम्
प्रेक्षणीयोत्पलश्यामम्
सर्वावयवा सुन्दरम्
सर्वावयवसुन्दरम्
समानकर्णाभरणम्
समानकर्णाभरणम्
सुखपोलोन्नासाननम्
सुखपोलोन्नसाननम्
नवयौवननिर्वृत्ता
नवयौवननिर्वृत्ता
स्थानभारकृशोदरम्
स्थानभारकृशोदरम्
मुखं मोदानुरक्ताली
मुखम् मोदानुरक्ताली
जङ्करोद्विग्नलोचनम्
शङ्करविघ्नलोचनम्
बिभ्रत्सुकेशाभारेण
विभ्रत्सुकेशभारेण
मालामुत्फुल्लमल्लिकाम्
मालामुत्फुल्लमल्लिकाम्
सुग्रीवकन्ताभरणम्
सुग्रीवकण्ठाभरणम्
सुभुजङ्गदभूषितम्
सुगन्धभूषितम्
विराजाम्बरसंविता
विराजाम्बरसंहिता
नितम्बाद्वीपशोभया
नितम्बाद्वीपशोभया
कञ्च्याप्लाविलसद्वल्गु
कञ्चारामसस्वन्दु
जलच्चरणनूपुरम्
जलचरणनूपुरम्
सवृदस्मितविक्षिप्ता
सवितास्मितविक्षिप्ता
भ्रूविलासावलोकनै
गुरुदासावलोकनै
दैत्ययुद्धापचेतासु
दैत्ययुतापचेतासु
काममुद्दीपयन्मुहुः
काममुद्दीपयन्मुहुः.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who can counteract any unfavorable situation, then assume the form of an extremely beautiful woman. This incarnation as a woman, Mohini Murti, was most pleasing to the mind. Her complexion resembled in color a newly grown blackish lotus, and every part of her body was beautifully situated. Her ears were equally decorated with earrings. Her cheeks were very beautiful, her nose was raised, and her face full of youthful luster. A large breast made her waist seem very thin. Attracted by the aroma of her face and body, bumblebees hummed around her, and thus her eyes were restless. Her hair, which was extremely beautiful, was garlanded with mallika flowers. Her attractively constructed neck was decorated with a necklace and other ornaments. Her arms were decorated with bangles. Her body was covered with a clean sari, and her breasts seemed like islands in an ocean of beauty. Her legs were decorated with ankle belts. Because of the movements of eyebrows as she smiled with shyness and glanced over the demons, all the demons were saturated with lusty desires, and every one of them desired to possess her. So you can see the potency of the Lord. No? Extremely, this is amazing, yeah, the way he bewildered the demons. Thus and the Bhakti, the purpose of the eight
They
cantos.
didn't think it didn't come out from the ocean. Where did she come from?
No,
Just appeared.
they just appeared. No, so many people appear and disappear, right? Yeah. So they didn't even think. They just saw the beauty and then
Doesn't matter.
boom.
How it
Yeah. They're like drunk in the beauty. Yeah. So, of course, she will take it away, and then That's where Rahu and who's the other person? Ketu. Yeah, come about. Text 1. Shri Shukavacha
Shri Shukavacha
Enyoonyato Shurapatram
Enyoonyato Shurapatram
Arantastyapta Soridaha
Arantasya Sauridaha
Shivanto Tasyu Dharmana
Shivanto Dasya Dharmana
Ayantim Dadrishu Striyam.
Ayantu Darshustriyam
Sukadeva Goswami said that after the demons became inimical toward one another, throwing and snatching the container of nectar, they gave up their friendly relationship. Meanwhile, they saw a very beautiful young woman coming forward toward them.
True. When goddess Lakshmi appeared, that time even demigods were attracted. Even they wanted to possess her. Whether they knew this is Lord Vishnu for Mohini Murti or nothing said that they were attracted towards that.
Hmm?
Were they attracted to Mohini Murti or were they knew it is Lord Vishnu?
No, they were not there because this Mohini Murti is I mean, the Lord expanded in another location, I believe.
Okay.
Because later on, Lord Shiva also wanted to know how it looks, and then he gets bewildered.
Yeah.
So definitely, if they had seen her, I'm sure there would have been more chaos.
Okay.
There's different parts, right? Front
Yeah.
and back
Yeah.
of the Vasuki.
Well, they're no more. They'll run away with the nectar.
Yeah, so it's
Text 2. Aho rupam aho dama.
Aho Rupam Ahodama
Aho asya navam vayaha.
Aho Vasyanam Vayaha
Iti te tam abhitrutya.
Iti Tam Abhitrutya
Prachurjata richaya.
Prachurjatadachaya
Upon seeing the beautiful woman, the demon said, Alas, how wonderful is her beauty! How wonderful the luster of her body, and how wonderful the beauty of her youthful age! Speaking in this way, they quickly approached her, full of lusty desires to enjoy her, and began to inquire from her in many ways. Text 3. Katvam kanja pala shakshi.
Katvam Kanjapala Sakshi
Uto va kim chikirshashi.
Tova Kinchikeshasi
Kasyasi vada va moru.
Kasyasi Vadavahuru
Matnativa manam sinaha.
Matnativa Manasinaha
Oh, wonderfully beautiful girl, you have such nice eyes resembling the petals of a lotus flower. Who are you? Where do you come from? What is your purpose in coming here? And to whom do you belong? Oh, you whose thighs are extraordinarily beautiful, our minds are becoming agitated simply because of seeing you. So, Prabhupada says in the Vedic culture, the ladies are always under the shelter of the father. After marriage, the husband, and when they are old, the son. So that is the reason why they're asking, to whom do you belong? Or in another way, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, whose daughter are you? Because they can understand she was unmarried, and they wanted to marry her. At least they wanted to marry her. Nowadays they don't care, right? Right, nowadays the situation in India is very bad.
Very bad.
Why is that?
Lack of culture now.
How is that?
Because of movies.
Because
Because
of
of
movies,
They
Government-
propagated so
Government-
much.
Last 50 years is like Congress government.
westernization.
They don't read the scriptures.
They don't read scripture. But it's so bad, no?
Very bad.
They kill the ladies, they throw them out. I mean, it's like, what is wrong?
Prabhu, I think movies propagated so much. That's what they show all the time, that living relationships, just use whatever you want to use and move on.
But to kill people, there's something wrong, They're becoming more like an animal, worse than animal. Animals don't kill unnecessarily.
Oh, they need to put strict laws, bro. Like immediate.
Immediately they have to hang them.
Like Dubai.
Mm.
Dubai, if they actually do anything with the women, they're killed immediately.
Killed immediately.
Like, their head is
Stone
chopped
pelted.
off.
Chopped off. Yeah.
Stone pelted.
They should do like that. Like they should get scared.
Yeah, I heard one case. The police killed the man. 4 or 5 of them. Hyderabad.
Yeah, recent one. They
Recent.
encountered right away.
Yeah. So at least there will be some fear, But this is bad, very bad. When I read that, I was thinking, what's wrong, Very sad. No, where's the culture, right? So high culture we are reading, and then we see, yeah,
Our own country.
yeah. So you have to, you cannot go into the office, right? All your friends will be looking at you. You guys from India, right?
Yeah.
Is this what happens? Yeah. Right? Yeah. So it's very sad. Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
news this morning that number of girls in Bangalore were molested for New Year's Eve. So girls should not stop going to these places, parties and all that.
Of course they shouldn't. I was telling Prabhu, when I was in college, my friends would say, we'll go to downtown for New Year. And I didn't know why. And they would say, no, it's very good. So later on, I found out that they go downtown because when the New Year happens on that moment, everyone will hug each other and kiss each other. So they say it's good. It's so nonsense. So that's what it is, Why they all have to go and do all this nonsense? And then they complain they molested me. So therefore you should.
Hyderabad, I actually saw with my own eyes. So
You didn't participate, no?
No, I didn't. So after one lady, Prabhu, like she should be like 25 or actually even less than that, 22, 23. She was fully drunk. And drunk. And the first time I'm seeing.
Daytime?
No, at night.
Night, yeah.
So first time I'm seeing, I'm not even seeing men like dancing, like meaning wobbling after drinking. This girl was actually at night. She was fully drunk. There were 2 boys with her, and then she was just like about to fall on the road. It was that bad, actually.
Yeah. That's why you should not drink alcohol. Yeah. So now you know why Prabhupada's teachings are so good. It protects you. It's ridiculous. I've actually never, when I was a little boy, I've never seen a woman smoke.
Yeah, I was in shock.
And then when I saw in college, I
Now
saw all
it's
the
in India very common.
college
Very
students
common.
were smoking. I'm like, what? But now you see so many, But they don't understand. They get lung disease, COPD, worse off, cancer, I know of a devotee who was smoking when she was 15 years old or something. Then she gave up. Okay. So then 25 years later, right, she gets cancer of the lungs. So then the doctor said, no matter when you lose, there's always a chance.
Once you
Cancer.
do it.
Yeah. So, people should understand this is not a joke, And now they have the other one, vaping.
Oh,
Nonsense.
wow, that's too much.
That people are dying like left, right, and center.
It's completely chemicals.
Yeah, it's chemicals, no? Yeah. So what to do? People don't know what culture is, what is good life. So it's very important we help people understand there's more to life than all this nonsense. Somehow rather try to give people some knowledge or give prasadam. Text 4. Navayam tvamaray daityai
Navayam tvamaray daityai
Siddha gandharva charanai
Siddhagandharvacharanai
Nasprista purvam janino
Nasprishapurvajano
Lokasaischa kuto nirbhihi.
Lokashayachakondrihi
What to speak of human beings, even the demigods, demons, siddhas, gandharvas, charanas, and the various directors of the universe, the Prajapatis have never touched you before. It is not that we are unable to understand your identity. So Prabhupada's point is very good. He says they observe the etiquette. It's like culture, something must be there. And so no one should address a married woman with lust. But nowadays they don't care. They think if I can get her from her husband, I'm a winner, like that. Right? Nowadays they do all this nonsense, And I've heard, that some men place bets saying, you see, I'll get her, from him and stuff like that. It's not nonsense. What is wrong with people, right? So Chanaka Pandit says, Matrivat Paradareshu. One should consider another's wife to be one's mother. But because in our movement the culture is still not properly settled, people want to be called Prabhus. Women want to be called Prabhu. But here you can say Matrivat Paradareshu. One should consider another's wife or woman to be one's mother. So this is the right culture, but it's very hard to cultivate such culture. So here, when they saw Mohini Murti, they understood she wasn't married. Uh, and they could see, because she's so amazingly beautiful, that no one must have messed with her, so to speak. She's still pure. So she is unmarried, and they wanted to see if she would marry one of them. Yeah. So one of the things is, generally if a young lady is among men in those days, it would only mean that she is interested in wanting to marry. So that's another reason why they're asking this question. Text 5. Nunam tvam vidina subruhu
Nunam tvam vidina
presitasi sharirinam
Preshasi Sharinam
sarvendriya mana pritim
Sarvendriya Manamritim
vidatum sagrinena kim.
Vidhatum Sagrinena Kim.
Oh, beautiful girl with beautiful eyebrows. Certainly, Providence, by His causeless mercy, has sent you to please the senses and minds of all of us. Is this not a fact? So they are just been messing with her now. Text 6. Nowadays, they won't talk like that, no? To a girl. They are more crude nowadays, right? More crude, more nasty, and the girls also like it.
Yeah.
Something is wrong. The culture's gone. Something is wrong. The culture's gone. Text 6. Satumna spardhamananam
Sadhamna Sarvamananam
ekavastuni manini
Ekavastuni Manini
Yatinam Baddha Vairanam
Yatinam Baddha Vairanam
Shambhidatsva Sumadhyame.
Samvedatsva Sumadhyame.
We are now all engaged in enmity among ourselves because of this one subject matter, the container of nectar. You see, that's the other problem. They openly tell their secrets also to a beautiful girl. Although we have been born in the same family, we are becoming increasingly inimical. Oh, thin-waisted woman who are so beautiful in your prestigious position. We therefore request you to favor us by settling our dispute. Totally bewildered. Of course, the Lord's potency is so powerful.
It's by the Paramatma's arrangement,
Yeah,
right? That's
yeah.
how they're saying.
Yeah. So now they all want her to make a decision. In one sense, they're hoping she will give to one of them. So then that means she likes that person. Nonsense. Text 7. Vayam Kashyapa Dayada
Vayam Kashyapa Dayada
Bratara Krita Purushaha
Bhratara Purushaha
Vivajasva Yata Nyayam
Vivajasva Yata Nyayam
Naiva Vedo Yatha Bhave.
Naiva Vedo Yatha Bhave.
All of us, both demons and demigods, have been born of the same father Kashyapa, and thus we are related as brothers. But now we are exhibiting our personal prowess in dissension. Therefore, we request you to settle our dispute and divide the nectar equally among us. Text 8. Iti upamantrito daityer
Iti Mahamantrito Daitya
Maya Yoshid Vapur Hari
Maya Yoshiva Purnari
Prahasya Ruchira Pangair
Rahasya Ruchira Pange
Rikshan Nidam Abravi.
Niriksham Nidamabravi.
Having thus been requested by the demons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who had assumed the form of a beautiful woman, began to smile. Looking at them with attractive feminine gestures, she spoke as follows. Text 9. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Katham Kashyapa Dayada
Kashyapayadaha
Chalyam Mayi Sangataha
Chalyamayi Sangataha
Vishwasam Pandito Jatu
Vishwasam Pandito Jato
Kamini Shunayatihi.
Kamini Shunayatihi.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Mohini told the demons, "O sons of Kashyapa Muni, I am only a prostitute. How is it that you have so much faith in me? A learned person never puts his faith in a woman." So this is Krishna telling the demons, And Prabhupada quotes again from Chanakya Pandit, Vishvaso naiva kartavya strishu raja kuleshu cha. Never put your faith in a woman or a politician. So how can you go and vote? Right? Right? So foolishly you still vote, to all these foolish people. So again here you can see the Lord is telling them not to put faith in Him. Yet they are so bewildered. It's amazing. Even Mahaprabhu says, right, one should be very careful with the attractive woman. So woman is a representation where anyone can get bewildered. Even a woman will get bewildered by another woman. Yeah, that's how powerful the form of a woman is.
Prabhupada says in one of the purport that woman can go to any limit to solve her purpose.
Solve her purpose, yeah. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, that's true. Even in Germany, there are some of them, they murder and kill, this woman. They go to extremes, like you say, the way they do things is like unimaginable.
This is like fallen woman.
Fallen woman. Of course, you're not talking about Vaishnavis. Yeah. But here, as you can see, Krishna is telling these demons, I'm a prostitute. How can you, accept me as your judge like that? So her point is, as Prabhupada says, how is this? You are all born of great Rishi, right? Kashyapa. Yet you are putting your faith in a woman who's loitering here and there like a prostitute, unprotected by father or husband. Okay? So that's why this is very important. So the word Kamini is significant in this connection, Prabhupada says. Women, especially beautiful young women, invoke the dormant lusty desires of a man. Therefore, according to Manu Samhita, every woman should be protected either by her husband, by her father, or by her grown sons. Without such protection, a woman will be exploited. Indeed, women like to be exploited by men. Now, this is a controversial point. People will say that is not true, and so on and so on. But Srila Prabhupada says that they like it in the sense that they like that exchange where the men will, say nice things to them like that, and they don't mind hearing like that. As soon as a woman is exploited by men, she becomes a common prostitute, which is you find all over the world nowadays. Mm-hmm. This is explained by Mohini Murthy, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I know of a case where a devotee girl, so when she got married, she told her husband, in my previous life, I did some bad things. So the guy immediately told her, I don't want to see you again.
Previous life.
No, that's before.
Oh, I thought previous birth.
Yeah, she's a devotee now, previous life.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I was young, we were doing nonsense. And then immediately he said, no, I don't want you. I left her like. So sometimes men think we don't even know what he was doing in his previous life. But this is how it is. People are harsh sometimes, easily exploited. She got married and then he left her. So who's going to marry her like that?
I mean, we can understand, in this context.
Yeah.
But really, if we were to give this class, there'll be a lot of...
the controversial, the one point is enough already. They'll hang me.
Yes. So how do we explain this to the general masses?
No, mostly you can explain many things except that one sentence where it says women like to be exploited. I can't understand in what sense or what way.
The women like to take shelter of men, right?
Yes.
So therefore, if the man is
He's a
wanting to exploit,
nonsense.
he'll exploit. Yeah.
That's what he means, I guess. She will take shelter of anyone who's nice to her because she wants that person to take care of her. In that sense, the person will exploit them. But still, this is a controversial statement.
But there's even more controversial, right? In the Bhagavatam assembly. I think Prabhupada said, right?
Yeah, but that is English. The word in the old English is rape, Yeah.
And then I think they were trying to remove from the Bhagavatam.
Yeah. But the old English rape means aggressive. But then modern term is sexual exploitation. So that's the usage. One has to understand what it means. Yeah. So anyway, text 10. Salavrikkanam strinam cha Swairinam suradvisha Sakyani ahur anityani Nutnam vichinvatam. You can sit down. Oh, demons, as monkeys, jackals, and dogs are unsteady in their sexual relationships and want newer and newer friends every day, women who live independently seek new friends daily. Friendship with such a woman is never permanent. This is the opinion of learned scholars. Text 11. Sri Shuka Vacha Idite Shvelitaistasya Ashvasta Manaso Suraha Jahasurvava Gambiram Dadusham Bhajanam. Sri Shukadev Goswami continued. After the demons heard the words of Mohini Murti, who had spoken as if jokingly, they were all very confident. They laughed with gravity and ultimately they delivered the container of nectar into her hands. It didn't matter what she was saying. They were just bewildered. They were just happy to get her favor. And I don't know if you when you were in college and so if you have seen this kind of situation. Where one pretty girl and 10 boys will be around talking, trying to get her favor. Right? It's like that. So it's similarly like that. And they'll do whatever she asks.
And that girl will exploit everybody for exams and all that. And then finally she'll go marry somebody.
Yes.
Personal experience.
Personal experience.
So very tricky.
That is
Not in town.
recorded.
Recorded, right? Yeah. Put the camera to me. I'll give you more experience. Very, very tricky, actually.
Yeah, it's like that. That's what it is. And you can see in your life this situation is like that. Simply because your senses are not controlled, you want to possess that person, and that person also understands this guy is a fool. I can exploit, as you said, assignments, exam, everything, all purchases, buy this, buy that, and so shopping, all done, for the next 10 years. But that's how it is. Huh? So whatever she said, they didn't take her seriously. They like, oh, it's okay. She's just a lady. We can exploit her like that. So Prabhupada says, the demons, however, being captivated by Mohini Murti's bodily features, took her words as a joke and confidently delivered the container of nectar into her hands. So they will tell secrets also that you will never even tell your parents. But you will tell the girl, everything, your life history. So that's what it is, like that. Prabhupada then says, thus Mohini Murti resembles Lord Buddha, who appeared Sammohaya Suradvisham, to cheat the Asuras, because they were unnecessarily killing the poor animals. Yeah. The word Suradvisham refers to those who are envious of the demigods or devotees. Okay, so here the Lord wanted to cheat them. Although Mohini Murti was speaking factually to the Asuras took her words to be facetious. Indeed, they were so confident of Mohini Murti's honesty that they immediately delivered the container of nectar into her hands, as if they would allow her to do with the nectar whatever she liked, whether she distributed it, threw it away, or drank it herself without giving it to them. See, it was in so extreme. The nectar is so hard to get, and yet how the Lord bewildered them.
So in the process of creation, like in Pune temple, one of the sannyasis was telling, Vrindavan Chandra Maharaj, there is some videos online also of him, that initially Brahma created only men, and then he saw that the men were very unstable in their behavior. He wanted them to lock down, and then he created women. Is that the sequence? Like first men were created, then women were created?
I have never read the.
Not in Bhagavatam.
Not in the Bhagavatam.
I don't know where he got it from, but he gave a lecture, a complete lecture on that topic.
Just for creation of woman. No, I don't know.
And he said, for a man, woman is gateway to hell, but for woman, man is very important to get liberated. So how do you reconcile this dilemma? That was the topic of lecture. So he was saying, like, for a purush, stree ठीक नहीं है, लेकिन for stree, purush.
Maybe, but if the woman is a pure devotee, then it doesn't apply.
In general, right?
In
How many
general,
pure devotees are there?
but in general, then we expect the man to be also of a good standard also, right? But in Kali Yuga, everyone is low class. So and then among low class, you make such statements, it's meaningless. Then they get angry, then they say the men are not like that, and which is why you see so much problems in our society also, because because they are not qualified. We are talking like we are better than another person. What gives? Right? Yeah. Mostly who's doing a better sense control? The women are doing better sense control in general. Yes.
So, is there any difference between Mohini Murti and the Maya Devi external energy of the Lord?
Yeah, different. Completely.
No. She can also bewilder and Maya also bewilder.
It's true. True.
What would be the difference like? She's
directly Lord Shiva says it. Maya cannot bewilder her, but
that's for Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva. Yeah. So that's
That's what I wanted to know.
What?
So Maya cannot bewilder Lord Shiva, but this Mohini Murti.
Well, he's already with Maya, no? Shiva.
Yeah, he's a husband of.
Yeah, so that doesn't. You're saying what's the difference between them? One is the Supreme Lord, bewildering, who can bewilder even Maya.
He's directly bewildered.
One is internal energy,
one is internal, one is
say like that.
Kandarpa Koti Kamaniyo Vishesha Shobham. So he can even cheat cupids. What to cheating demons is easy.
Yeah, this is nothing. But anyway, he's showing in this very churning of ocean how many times he has taken in avatars, incarnation, so many already. So it's a special pastimes, this one, textual. Tato grihitva mritabhajanam hari babasha isha smita shobhaya gira yadyabhyutpetam kvacha sadva asadhuva kritam maya vo vibhaje sudam imam. After the Supreme Personality of Godhead, having taken possession of the container of nectar, smiled slightly and spoke in attractive words. She said, "My dear demons, if you accept whatever I may do, whether honest or dishonest, then I can take responsibility for dividing the nectar among you." Prabhupada says, Krishna never follows anyone's dictation. Whatever he does is absolute. So that is the right answer. The demons, of course, were deluded by the illusory potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, Mohini Murti got them to promise that whatever she would do, they would accept. Of course, they won't accept. Text 13. Iti abhivyahritam tasya
इति अभिव्याहृतं तस्य
akarnya sura pungava
आकर्ण्यासुरपुङ्गवाः
apramana vidastasya
अप्रमाणविदस्तस्य
tatteti anvamamsata.
तत्तत्तेति अन्वमंसत.
The chiefs of the demons were not very expert in deciding things. Upon hearing the sweet words of Mohini Murti, they immediately assented. Yes, they answered. What you have said is all right. Thus the demons agreed to accept her decision. I remember, everyone is bewildered. All the demons, not just one or two, all complain. So they, whatever she says, they say, okay, okay. And who's bewildering them? Supreme Lord Himself. So no one can be not bewildered. Yeah. Including
Shiva.
yes. Next 14 and 15. Atho poshya krita snana
अतो अवश्य कृतस्नान
Udvacha havisanalam
उद्वाच हविषानलम्
Dadvato viprabhutebhyaha
दत्त्वा विप्रभूतेभ्यः
Kritasvastyayana dvijay
कृतस्वस्यायनाद्विजयै
Yatopajosham vasamsi
यतोपयोसंवासांसि
Paridaya hatanite
परिहाय हतान्ते
Sheshu pravishan sarve
कुशेषु प्राविशन् सर्वे
Pragagreshvabhibhushitaha.
प्रागग्रे अविभूषितः.
Demigods and demons then observed a fast. Make things auspicious. After bathing, they offered clarified butter and oblations into the fire and gave charity to the cows and to the brahmanas and members of the other orders of society, namely the Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras, who were all rewarded as they deserved. Thereafter, the demigods and demons performed ritualistic ceremonies under the directions of the brahmanas. Then they dressed themselves with new garments according to their own choice, decorated their bodies with ornaments, and sat facing east on seats made of kusha grass.
These are high class demons.
Yeah, they all
Demons are
they are demigods there, and they're also sons of Kashyapa. So anyway, they're all facing east over there. The Vedas, yeah. So before any rituals, one should take bath. So they all did that. And let's see, in this verse, the words paridhyaya hatani are especially significant. A sannyasi or a person about to perform a ritualistic ceremony should not dress himself in clothing sewn with a needle. Therefore, on the altar when we go, we only wear clothes and nothing stitched. No socks on the altar and so on. But I see nowadays people do all that.
But women wear all the sewn clothes.
Yeah, I know, but you all are excused. That's the reason. Prabhupada allowed that. So
Prabhu, dhoti is not considered sewn, right?
No.
It's just
as long as you don't sew anything.
So you don't actually stitch the end
Yeah,
of the dhoti.
no, shouldn't. Should be all one piece.
I mean, they say that when we sew it, then once the germs get inside, it's very difficult to wash them out.
Oh,
So that's the reason.
could be. I don't know. Yeah.
Yes, generally there is more biological thing, but Shastra is purity. Now they don't look at germs, but the idea is that it's khandit. You only sew or try to put things together which is broken. So whatever is khandit cannot be offered to the Lord.
So that's why they use silk, Prabhu. Like
No, it cannot be broken, torn out.
Yeah.
for all the rituals, they actually tell it's best to wear silk clothing.
No,
Silk
no.
dhoti.
You can use cotton, silk,
Yeah.
jute.
But silk is coming from worm.
No, but it's pure. Just like Kongshan, cow dung. It's pure.
Maybe.
It's interesting. They also heard there is ahimsa silk. Ahimsa means they don't.
Yeah, because they did kill the worms and so on. But anyway, silk is pure. Wool. So these are the ones you can use on the altar.
But wool, this is not considered.
It's not
Sewn,
sewn.
right?
It's not sewn.
That's not sewn.
It's
just
joined,
woven.
you know, woven, yeah.
Woven.
So even your dhoti is all woven, you know, in the mill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not stitched together, two broken pieces. That's the point.
Mhm.
Text 16 and 17. Pranmukeshu pavisteshu
Pranmukeshu pavisteshu
sureshu ditijeshu cha
Sureshu Didijeshu cha
Dupamodita shalayam
Dupamodita shalayam
Justayam malya deepakai
Jushayam Malyadipakai
Tasyam narendra karavorurushadukula
Tasyam Narendra Karabor Sadhukula
Shroni tatala sagate madavivalakshi
Shroni Tata Sagate Madhavi Valashi
Sakhu jati kanakanu purasinjitena
Sahu Jati Kanakanu Purasinjitena
Kumbhastani kalasapani atavivesha
Kumbhastani Kalasi Vivesha
O king, as the demigods and demons sat facing east in an arena fully decorated with flower garlands and lamps and fragrant with the smoke of incense, that woman dressed in a most beautiful sari, her ankle bells tinkling, entered the arena, walking very slowly because of her big low hips. Her eyes were restless due to youthful pride. Her breasts were like water jugs, her thighs resembled the trunks of elephants, and she carried a water pot in her hand. Tam Shri Shakim Kanaka Kundala Charu Karna
Ram Shri Shakim Kanaka Kundala Charu Karna
Nasa Kapola Vadanam Paradevatakyam
Nasha Kapola Vadanam Paradevatakyam
Samvikshya Sammumuhurvasmita Vikshanena
Samviksha Sammuhurusmita Vikshanena
Devasura Vigalita Sanapatikantam
Devasura Vigalita Sanapatikantam
Her attractive nose and cheeks and her ears adorned with golden earrings made her face very beautiful. As she moved, her sari's border on her breasts moved slightly aside. When the demigods and demons saw these beautiful features of Mohini Murti, who was glancing at them and slightly smiling, they were all completely enchanted. So now even the demigods are bewildered. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Mohini Murti is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in a feminine form, and that the goddess of fortune is her associate. This form assumed by the personality of Godhead challenged the goddess of fortune. Very beautiful. The goddess of fortune is beautiful, but if the Lord accepts the form of a woman, he surpasses the goddess of fortune in beauty. But then she also has the six opulence, just like him. It is not that the goddess of fortune, being female, is the most beautiful, Prabhupada says. The Lord is so beautiful that he can excel any beautiful goddess of fortune by assuming a female form, except when Radharani is there. He is defeated. Text 19. Asuranam Shudadanam Sarpanam Iva Durnayam
Sarpanam Iva Durnayam
Madhvajati Nishamshanam
Madhvajati Nishamshanam
Natam Yabhajat Achyuta
Natam Yabhajat Achyuta
Demons are by nature crooked like snakes. Therefore, to distribute a share of the nectar to them was not at all feasible, since this would be as dangerous as supplying milk to a snake. Considering this, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who never falls down, did not deliver a share of nectar to the demons, because they will cause immense problems. So therefore the Lord decided not to give them. What is the advantage of taking nectar?
More
Yeah, and then what happens if you are a demon?
You got more nuisance.
problem.
problem. No one can stop the problem. Immortal. For the whole day of creation, they'll be causing problem. Prabhupada says one can bring a snake under control with mantras, herbs, and drugs, but an envious and crooked person cannot be brought under control by any means.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So you can see that, huh? A human being is more difficult if they are very crooked. So the Lord also considered this and therefore didn't give the demons. Text 20. Kalpayitva pritak panktir
Kalpayitva pritak pankti
Vayesham jagatpati
Vayesham jagatpatihi
Tam stopaveshayamasa
Tam stopaveshayamasa
Sveshu sveshu cha panktishu
Sveshu sveshu cha panktishu.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead as Mohini Murti, the Master of the Universe, arranged separate lines of sitting places and seated the demigods and demons according to their positions. Like, when you serve prasadam, everyone sit like that. You put everyone you want to give nice on one side, everyone you don't want to give. Or you start where you want to give everyone, and then when you come the other side, it's not enough. So the Lord also. Thanks 21. Guys, huh?
At least I know in Gujarat, in the traditional weddings nowadays, those don't exist, but they invite people to sit in lines.
Yeah.
And they make this Gujarati dal when they make.
Yeah.
They always run out of it, so popular. So what they say is, somebody says, I want dal. So this person who is managing, he says, dal, dal, dal. So the person, he would come and he just runs through the line. So he said, he moves around. Only somehow somebody is able to forcefully, so otherwise.
They finish, yeah. Sweet dal.
Yeah.
Gujarati dal means sweet. Text 21. Daityangri hita kalaso.
Daityangri kalaso.
Vanchayan upasancharai.
Vanchayan upasancharai.
Durastan payayamasa.
Durastan payayamasa.
Jaramrityu haram sudam.
Jaramrityu haram sudam.
Taking the container of nectar in her hands, she first approached the demons, satisfied them with sweet words, and thus cheated them of their share of the nectar. Then she administered the nectar to the demigods who were sitting at a distant place to make them free from invalidity, old age, and death. Okay, so that's why you don't die in the upper planet. You just drop.
Is it since this happened?
You can say like that, yeah. Mohini Murti, the personality of Godhead, gave the demigods seats at a distance. Then she approached the demons and spoke with them very graciously so that they thought themselves very fortunate to talk with her. You can see that. And I've seen that. Men are like that. They can be easily bewildered. When the woman is pretty or sweet spoken, they'll just go like that.
Prabhupada quotes Cleopatra, right?
Yeah.
In Shakespeare.
Yeah.
What is exactly invalidity? Like old age?
Old age.
And
Old
but
vegetable.
it is 3 words. Like in Sanskrit also there are 3 words.
Jara, old age,
Mrityu and haram.
death. And haram is?
Invalidity.
What is haram? Sanskrit.
Jaramrityu haram. Oh.
Invalidity old age.
Huh? Taking away. Taking away.
The vigor maybe.
Ah, that makes more.
Yeah.
Vigor makes more sense. Yeah. More. The strength like that. So yeah, vigor makes more sense. Okay, so here by speaking words but never giving them any nectar. So they thought, oh, she's so nice, They didn't even think why she's not giving me, like that. So then he took the nectar to the demigods and gave them first. Text 22. Te palayanta samayam.
Te palayanta samayam.
Asura swakritam nipa.
Asura swakritam nipa.
Tusnimasan krita sneha.
Tusnimasan krita sneha.
Stri vivada jugupsaya.
Sri vivada jugupsaya.
O king, since the demons had promised to accept whatever the woman did, whether just or unjust, now to keep this promise, to show their equilibrium and to save themselves from fighting with the woman, they remained silent. So they knew they were not getting anything, but ego and all, so they kept quiet. They made a promise. Text 23. Tasyang kritati pranayaha.
Tasyang kritati pranayaha.
Pranayapaya kataraha.
Pranayapaya kataraha.
Bahumanena chab. Padda.
Bahumanena chabadda.
No chukinchana vipriyam.
No chukinchana vipriyam.
The demons had developed affection for Mohini Murti and a kind of faith in her, and they were afraid of disturbing their relationship. Therefore, they showed respect and honor to her words and did not say anything that might disturb their friendship with her. Yeah, sometimes a loser, no? It's a big L like that. So don't accept, huh?
Like Ravana.
Like Ravana, yeah. He knew he was losing and still could not accept, huh? Ravana also this. Yeah. So they were thinking, okay, that's all right, let them have first, but they can also understand something is wrong. Right. Text 24. Devalinga pratichanna.
Devalinga pratichanna.
Sarvanu deva samsadi.
Sarvanu deva samsadi.
Parishta somam apibach.
Parishta somam apibach.
Chandrar kavyam cha suchitaha.
Chandrar kavyam cha suchitaha.
Rahu, the demon who causes eclipses of the sun and moon, covered himself with the dress of a demigod, and thus entered the assembly of the demigods and drank nectar without being detected by anyone, even by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not so, no? But just for the Leela, the Lord did not see it. The moon and the sun, however, because of permanent animosity toward Rahu, understood the situation. Thus, Rahu was detected. He's a fake news. So we can see at least one person was not thinking the same way, or rather, the Lord allowed him to be not bewildered so much, and so he came to drink the nectar. But did he really finish drinking the nectar? Let's see. Text 25. Chakrena Shuradharena.
Chakrena Shuradharena.
Jahara Pibata Shiraha.
Jahara Pibata Shiraha.
Haristasya Kabandastu.
Haristasya Kabandastu.
Sudaya Plavito Pata.
Sudaya Plavito Pata.
Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, using his disc, which was sharp like a razor, at once cut off Rahu's head. When Rahu's head was severed from his body, the body being untouched by the nectar could not survive. Only the head was alive.
How fast that action would have been.
Yeah.
I'm thinking,
As soon as the sun god and moon god said, "Hey, it's a fake, this demon." Zoom.
Recently in the church shoot,
second to go from here to here, right?
Cut very fast, supremely fast. So that's
recently
why
in the church shooting in Texas, somewhere there was a church shooting, right?
yeah.
One of the pastor was a former police officer or whatever. So the FBI evaluated that. Entire thing happened in about 4 seconds. The fellow was pulling out a gun to shoot someone. As he was shooting the other two, the pastor pulled out the gun and shot
him.
So the entire thing only took 4 seconds. So this is Supreme Personality of God, right? The moment they detected,
But the pastor had a gun with him, because if he's
It was a clergyman, it was a security officer. They had a volunteer security force. It was not the pastor itself, but one of the...
Yeah.
No, but they said volunteer security force did not respond in time, so the pastor directly shot.
Doesn't matter.
Prabhu, for Supreme Personality of Godhead, he only has to have that intention, right? And then it gets
Yeah.
executed.
By his will.
It's not that
The chakra can do it immediately.
In the pastime of Ambarish Maharaj also, knowing the intention of the Lord, the chakra takes off.
Right.
It's not like Lord says, "My dear chakra, go and cut his head."
Yes.
First class
Immediately takes
servant, right?
Yes.
Does not need to be ordered.
Doesn't need to know. They know the will. Text 26. Shirastu amaratam nitam
Shirastu amaratam
ajograham achiklipat
Ajograham achiklipat
yastu parvani chandrakav
Yastu parvani chandrakav
vidavati vairatihi.
Vidhavati vairatihi.
Rahu's head, however, having been touched by the nectar, became immortal. Thus, Lord Brahma accepted Rahu's head as one of the planets. Since Rahu is an eternal enemy of the moon and the sun, he always tries to attack them on the nights of the full moon and the dark moon. And now you know why that happens. And it also shows the potency of nectar. So powerful. Just a little bit in the mouth, only the whole head is immortal. Don't have to be perished, whereas the body is just disintegrated. Unless they had the Chiranjeeva mantra to bring the body back. Sukracharya didn't come and say anything. But anyway, that's how it is. So Brahma accepted him as one of the grahas or planets.
Is it Chiranjeev mantra or Mrityunjaya mantra?
Sanjeevini.
Sanjeevani. The art of bringing back.
Here, what was I going to say? Yeah. Right. So then the Rahu is said to be a very darkish planet. I think who is that? Sadhabuddha probably says. So it is there, but we can't see Rahu. And another instance, some people say the moon landing didn't go to the moon planet, but Rahu planet. So,
A moon landing, yes.
it's on the Rahu rather than the moon itself. So it's anyway, that's some things for you all to get more confused about.
In astronomy, when they calculate the position of Rahu Ketu, it corresponds to the ascending and descending node of the moon, which is the intersection of the orbit of the moon with the ecliptic. So even if you go on the NASA's website, they will tell whether this eclipse is an ascending node or the descending node of the moon. And so ascending node is Rahu, descending node is the moon. So astronomically, you can calculate it, but it's a location in space. The Bhagavatam says, apart from that astronomical location, there is an actual existence of this planet that is described in that 5th canto of where actually it's located. But it's a different location from how they calculate astronomy.
Yeah. It's like, 4-dimensional, 3-dimensional, whatever. It's not easy to understand from our brain, Okay. Text 27. Pita praye mritte devair.
Pita praye devair.
Bhagavan loka bhavana.
Bhagavan loka bhavana.
Pasyatam asurendrana.
Pasyatam asurendrana.
Samrupam jagrehe hari.
Samrupam jagrehe hari.
Supreme Personality of Godhead is the best friend and well-wisher of the 3 worlds. Thus, when the demigods had almost finished drinking the nectar, the Lord, in the presence of all the demons, disclosed his original form.
So sad.
Yeah. In some ways, it appears that way because, we are so influenced in this present world, the situation, and so on. So we feel so, sad for the demons. But at the same time, it should not be misplaced. We should have compassion, but for the right reasons also.
They're going to cause so much destruction.
Yeah, they will cause, without even the nectar, they are causing so much death. Right? So just imagine if they got the nectar. Then the culture cannot be even maintained. Text 28. Evam sura surajana samadesha kala. Etvarta karma matayopi pale vikalpaha.
Devata karma matayo vipale vikalpa.
Tramritam surakana valamanja shapur.
Tadatamritam suragana phalamanja sapu.
Yatpada pankaja raja sayanana daityaha.
Yatpada pankaja raja sayanana.
The place, the time, the cause, the purpose, the activity, and the ambition were all the same for both the demigods and the demons. But the demigods achieved one result and the demons another. Because the demigods are always under the shelter of the dust of the Lord's lotus feet, they could very easily drink the nectar and get its result. The demons, however, not having sought shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, were unable to achieve the result they desired. So in the Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada says how, that the karmis and bhaktas, how they function differently. They may work in the same place, same ambition, but they get different results. The karmis transmigrate through different bodies in the cycle of birth and death, sometimes going up and sometimes downward, thus suffering the results of the actions in karma chakra, the cycle of birth and death. Whereas the devotees, because they are surrendered to the lotus feet of the Lord, are never baffled in their attempts. But otherwise, if you look from external point of view, both may be working hard, right? All of you may be working in the same company and so on. And in the same way, even karmis may come to the temple, but they are not really interested in trying to develop a relationship or have proper faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Actually, they avoid the relationship. You go and talk to them, they say, well, yeah, I'm okay. Before you say, do you, they don't let them finish the sentence. No, we don't want that.
Even if they want relationship, it is a one-way relationship. Lord, I want this, Lord, I want that, but don't ask me anything. Yeah, like that. So that's how it is. They want to use the Lord's property, the Lord's mercy, everything, but just for what Prabhupada says, selfish sense gratification.
But this is for the material benefits, right? Material things they get. So if you think other way around, the people who are rich or materially prosperous, so they have some qualities or they are surrendered to God up to a certain extent. That is why they are rich.
Not necessarily. Wealth and all is due to punya, no? If you do pious activities, you can get wealth in this life, right?
But they're theists, I mean to say. Like
Theist means they accept the position of God. But yeah, so they may be a karmi and be a theist, but they may not want to serve Krishna still. Yeah, as a devotee. You may not want to take it up, But you see a lot of them, they for example, look at a lot of Indian people come to America for better life. They may come from Brahminical family or even nice devotee families, right? But they are not interested. They just want to make some money. Yeah. So they may be brought up in a good culture. So they use that for their sense gratification. Not
like
for,
here.
yes, that's right.
Actually, I find preaching to the Brahmins more difficult than preaching to normal people.
Open books.
Better if they don't have anything.
Closed books and open books.
Yeah. So therefore, there's different reactions. Okay, karmis, they get one reaction. You want to sit on top of it? Your back may not block.
Special seat is open. Special
Balcony seat.
box.
No.
Box is open.
We are in the first row.
Yeah.
So then there's this famous verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada quotes, and it's good to know. All of you should know this verse. Krishna Bhakta Niskama Ateva Shanta Bhukti Mukti Siddhikami Shakali Ashanta. Shanta and Ashanta. If you are a Krishna devotee, you will be peaceful. If you are not Krishna's devotee, you will be not peaceful. Ashanta. That's the main thing you need to understand. You can aspire for many things in the world, but if it's not connected to Krishna, you will be miserable.
When I see this verse, And to your Rahul's question, Jeff Bezos, this moment he lost Department of Defense contract, he started going to press and saying Microsoft didn't play by the rules and this and that. Even though the richest man in the planet, is he Shanta? No, he's Ashanta.
He's so frustrated.
Richest man in the world. He's a. So richness has nothing to do with Shanti.
Piety. Piety has nothing to do with devotion.
Yeah, Microsoft has changed so much.
That's what you get.
regard.
But through devotion,
Microsoft,
automatically you are pious.
Piety is a byproduct for us.
But not pious. But
Yeah.
not materially.
No.
It's not that third level.
You can do pious activity, but doesn't mean you'll be a devotee. Right? But a devotee naturally will do pious activities.
तत्र लोल्यमेकं मूल्यं जन्मकोटि सुकृतिना.
Next 29. Yadyujyate suvakarma manovachobir
Yadyujyate suvakarma manovachobir
Dehatmajadish nibistarasat pritaktvat
Dehatmajadish nibistarasat pritaktvat
Taireva sadbhavati yad kriyate pritaktvat
Taireva sadbhavati yad kriyate pritaktvat
Sarvasya tat bhavati mula nisechanam yad
Sarvasya tat bhavati mula nisechanam yad.
In human society, there are various activities performed for the protection of one's wealth and life by one's words, one's mind, and one's actions. But they are all performed for one's personal or extended sense gratification with reference to the body. All these activities are baffled because of being separate from devotional service. But when the same activities are performed for the satisfaction of the Lord, the beneficial results are distributed to everyone. Just as water poured on the root of a tree is distributed throughout the entire tree. So when you do Krishna conscious activity, everyone benefits. But if you do selfish activities only, no one benefits. Because you are actually creating more problems for yourself. You get bewildered like that. So the entire world, Prabhupada says, is active, and this includes the karmis, the jnanis, yogis, and bhaktas. However, all activities except those of bhaktas, the devotees, end in bafflement and a waste of time and energy. Mogasha moga karmano moga jnana vechetasaha. Right? So no matter what you do, if you're not a devotee, your hopes, your activities and knowledge are all baffled. You don't know, why am I doing this, right? Sometimes in life you work so hard, and you don't get what you're looking for, your results are not what you want, everything goes wrong. Right? Even you raise a boy or girl, your child, and then they don't come out the way you expect. Then you are like baffled, right? What did I do wrong? Why should I suffer like that? But if you are connected to Krishna, then you can see the nuances in your life. Oh, this child is like that. I guess this is his karma. And then you can be peaceful somewhat, like that. So, Prabhupada says a person who's not Krishna conscious, they work for the family, the society, the community, or the nation. But then when the things don't go wrong, they become bewildered again. Why? Why is it? I did so hard, I worked so hard, and all these results are not good. So they get good results sometimes, they get bad results also. But if you do for Krishna, the results are always good. Always good. And Prabhupada says permanent and good. Permanent and good. It's permanent. You never lose it. Okay. Whereas normal other activities is temporary. Little bit. Someone will recognize you, give you some medal, and that's it. Right? You can be in college, you do very well, number one, gold medal. Then you go to Microsoft, nobody cares about it.
No, but even within Microsoft, 1 year they give you award, next year they lay you off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even with Microsoft. So it's like that. So no, it's nothing permanent here. So yeah, so it's true, as you said, Swalpam api asya dharmasya. Whatever little you do, it's very good for you. Okay. And then towards the end, Prabhupada says the only distinction between materialistic activity and spiritual activity is that material activity is performed only to satisfy one's own senses, whereas spiritual activity is meant to satisfy the transcendental senses of the Supreme Personality of God. By spiritual activity, everyone factually benefits, whereas by materialistic activity, no one benefits, and instead one becomes entangled in the laws of karma. Thus end the Bhaktivinoda purpose of the 8th canto, 9th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Lord Incarnates as Mohini Murti. So we'll have like 10 minutes break and we'll go for the battle. Next chapter.
Very good.
Very good.